Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to do a quick little video today. Something's really come to my attention and it's become quite apparent over the years, but as I talk to more and more mums, it becomes more and more apparent. So I wanted to talk about, I guess, what I see so many mums struggling with in terms of mindset that actually then prevents them from getting the body they want, or getting their energy back, their confidence, whatever it is they're trying to achieve. The thing that we see is that most people are waiting for motivation to get started to get the result they want. But the truth is that motivation is actually the thing that happens last. Let me give you an example. Let's say, let's say Sally, and I'll actually use two real life examples. Let's say Sally comes to me or just in general, Sally is like, great example is Mother's Day on the weekend. I saw photos of myself and it actually made me cringe and cry and not feel good about what I saw. Okay, so then Sally has the thought, it can go one of two ways. Sally then has the thought, struggling, I don't like the way I look. Her thought then could become one of overwhelm. Don't know where to start, it's too hard, I'll start later. And then that thought causes action or inaction. So in this case, it caused her inaction to go, it's too hard, I'm overwhelmed, I'll deal with it later. And then Mother's Day next year, she's in the same position. Okay, or let's take Caroline, who exactly the same person, really, exactly the same scenario. Mother's Day last year, she again, saw photos of herself, felt really, really sad, was really, didn't like herself being in the photos, was often withdrawing from photos, and she felt that pain, she felt that sadness, and then at that point, she was like, okay, I don't like what's happening, I need to make a change. And then at that point, Caroline could have done the same thing, overwhelmed, too hard, do nothing about it. It causes that inaction. But instead, Caroline says, okay, I reached out for help, I need help. And I say, okay, we're going to, get you started. We give her a really good plan, a good action plan, and we understand the mindset that's going to come along with her struggles over the next 12 months as we try and get her back to where she wants to be. And in this case, Caroline, keeps showing up even on the days when she's not motivated. Okay, so she wasn't exactly motivated to get started at that point. Yeah, there's all these things that go through our minds that go, I've got to wait until the kids' activities settle down and I don't have as many activities going on. I've got to wait until my hubby's work settles down and he's home more, or I've got to wait until my work settles down. There'll always be a reason why you can't get started. Yeah, reason why it's not the perfect time. But then I tell you what happens is that perfect time never comes. But say in this case, she then went, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make the changes. And I said to her, right, you need to understand that over the next 12 months there are going to be hard times in your life. There are going to be days where you don't feel like coming in and you feel like sitting on the couch. Okay, on those days you need to tell me, you need to let me know, because by me then knowing that that's how you're feeling, I can then grab you, give you the motivation to bring you in, get you that workout happening. What happens then is you get started, you've created the momentum. Okay, so the action created a result. The result then creates the motivation, and the motivation to keep going. It never, ever, ever happens the other way around. It never happens that you're motivated to get started, that motivation stays up before a result happens. Okay, the other thing that can happen is, you're going along, and, I've seen this happen a few times too, is let's take two clients as well, same situation, same life situation happening, but again, two different outcomes based on what's happening. So if we look at it, we've got a circumstance. The circumstance then produces a thought in our mind. That thought in our mind either then leads us to action or inaction, and whether we take action or inaction creates a result, and then that result creates the motivation to keep going or the motivation to not do anything. Yeah, so let's take this example. Okay, we've got Lisa. Lisa is a mum, 3 kids, is going through a really nasty divorce. Okay, so she has been training with us for a while. Is looking and feeling quite good. Is going through a really nasty divorce, and life gets overwhelming. So she says, "I need to stop training. Life is too much at the moment. I can't do this." Okay, Lisa then falls off the bandwagon, has inaction, starts to put on weight, starts to feel yucky, and then can't get that motivation back to get started. Okay, so what happened was, circumstance was, Lisa is going through a divorce, a messy divorce. Okay, thought is, life is too hard, this is overwhelming, I can't train at the moment. That thought then produced a response or an action or an inaction. In this case, it produced the inaction, which then stopped her training, stopped the motivation, no more result. Okay, or we have the same situation. Lots of women go through this. Okay, we've got Jessica. Jessica also is going through a divorce. Now, she again has been training with us for a while, and she comes and she says, "Julie, I'm going through a divorce. I just don't feel like I can do this at the moment." And I say, "Jessica, now is the time when you actually need to do this the most." Okay, there are going to be days when you don't feel like getting up, where you don't feel like getting out of bed, where it feels like you are sinking and drowning. But now is the time when I need to hold you and tell you this is the time you need this the most, and I guarantee you it's going to help you to feel better, it's going to help make life feel more manageable, and then that is going to get you feeling good, and that's going to give you the motivation to keep going. Right now, Jessica, you do not have that motivation to keep going because, the thoughts are, this is too overwhelming, it's too hard. So by me then getting her to believe that it's okay, that I've got her, that I'm going to hold her, and that we're going to give her the motivation on the days when days feel shitty, then that's going to help to keep her going. And that's exactly what happened. Jessica came out with a much different outcome than Lisa because Jessica kept going, okay, even on the days when she felt crappy. So I guess my message today is, if you're a mum that is struggling, to get your body back, it might even be to make a career change, yeah? I find it in business myself that 90% of the time I don't have the motivation to do what it is I want to do. I'll give you an example. So I, for 2 years, have been wanting to get my pregnancy course online, yeah? Because I want to be able to help mums all over the world with it. But there's always, I'm like, oh, I'll have to do that later. I'm too busy. I don't have time. Oh, life's too overwhelming. If I do it now, I'm not going to have as much time with my kids, okay? But, okay, what's happened now is I've gone, you know what, no, I want to do that. I want to get that done. And I don't have the motivation most days, but I went, okay, if I want to get that done, I know that I just need to take small bits of action every day that's then going to start to create the result of getting the course built, which is then going to give me the motivation to keep going. Okay, so I did. That's exactly what I was like. Okay, there's the thought, oh, it's too overwhelming. Stop, block the thought, change the thought. The thought is now, okay, no, I'm going to do this because I'm excited to do this and I want to help a lot of people. Okay, I'm going to get a coach because the coach is going to help me to do it. They're going to keep me motivated on those days that I'm not motivated. Okay, and they're going to help me to take action even when I don't feel like taking action, and then that course starts to get built. I get more and more motivated and that course gets launched. So it can apply to any situation in your life. It's not just about your body, it's not just about your energy. It can apply to anything, be it changing your career, anything that you want to do. If we can break that initial thought that's attached to that circumstance or situation, and we can say, okay, it's overwhelming, too much, too hard. No, okay, I want to do this. I know it's going to be hard, but I'm going to take a bit of action today. Yep, and I'm going to get someone to help me. Yeah, because quite often, really, when we are struggling, it's hard to do it on our own. So anyway, that's my little spiel for the day. Try and be aware of those thoughts. Try and break those thoughts. Try and change the thought, because the thought creates the feeling. The thought is, I can't do this. There's a feeling of overwhelm, which then brings in inaction, which then causes no result to happen, and then there's no motivation. Yep. Okay, we can change that to be a thought of, I can do this. I'm going to take a little bit of action. I start to see a result, then I've got the motivation. But don't wait for the motivation to get you started, because if you wait for motivation to start, you will actually never start and you will never keep going, because the motivation is actually the end result of the action we have taken, okay? And so if you're sitting there and you think you want to do anything, whatever it is, think, okay, I might not feel motivated. You're probably not going to feel motivated 90% of the time. Take action anyway. Take action. It'll start to see a result, and that result will keep that motivation flowing for you. All right, if this resonated with you in any way, just put a comment below or shoot me a private message. Some people don't like to put it in the comments below, they flick me a private message. But have a great day, and just today be aware of those thoughts, and I guarantee those thoughts are producing a feeling that will lead to inaction or action. And today I'm breaking my thoughts. I've been really aware of it the last few days, and I've been helping a few mums with it over the last few days as well. So take care, have a great day, and please comment below if it resonates with you. Take care, bye bye.